Or do you actually want me to tell you what to do?
Yeah.
Which is advice giving, which is where a lot of people start, but it's often the last thing people want, if at all.
It's Greg and Joel Fix the World. Because if you haven't heard, guys don't hang out anymore, they start a podcast. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Greg and Joel Fix the World. I'm Joel.
I'm Greg.
And we're back together for another podcast to fix the world.
Fix the world.
How do we do that? We ask each other questions. You don't know what I'm about to ask you. Greg, we all struggle in life. Could be work, could be family, could be breakups, you name it. We all have these things.
Mm-hmm.
We all know people. When we're feeling good, we know people who are struggling.
Mm-hmm.
The question for today, how do you support people who are struggling?
So this happens to be kind of my whole reason for existing.
For living?
Professionally, and it's what a lot of people kind of rely on me to do as a coach or just as a friend and we talked about, I actually learned some serious wisdom from you on this topic, which was the 3 H's, right?
That's my favorite.
yeah.
Favorite thing in the world.
Quick reminder, the 3 H's, if somebody's talking to you, which H do you need now? Do you need to be heard? Do you need to be helped? Or do you need to be hugged? Yeah, and I actually wrote an article a while ago called The Problem with Problem Solving, which talked a lot about the fact that people will often jump into problem solving before they've even ascertained that there is a problem and that somebody wants help.
Right.
Like, let's say you're talking to me about a problem and you ask, like, how would I be supportive to you? The first question is there a problem? Like, let's say you tell me, you know what, you've been drinking a lot lately. I'm not going to assume that that's a problem.
Right.
I would ask, how do you feel about your drinking? And then you'll say, yeah, it's fine. Or, I'm really drinking too much. Oh, and then, okay, so then it's a problem.
Right.
And then it's, well, do you want to fix the problem? Some people can have problems, but they're not actually looking to fix the problem. And then if you are looking to fix the problem, do you want my help fixing the problem? And then if you do want my help, what kind of help do you want? Do you want me
helped,
to...
heard, or hugged.
Right. Or like now that we've established, so look how many steps we've gone to first establish, do you even want my help? And then I'm still not sure what kind of help do you want. Do you want a hug? Do you want me to just be a sounding board and help you work out your ideas? Or do you actually want me to tell you what to do?
Yeah.
Which is advice giving, which is where a lot of people start, but it's often the last thing people want, if at all.
Yeah.
So I think that's a long way of answering the question is I kind of go through that whole algorithm in my head of trying to decide what does somebody want and how could I be supportive. But first of all, is there a problem? Do they want support?
But let's assume we've crossed threshold A, which is they've come to you.
Yeah.
They're struggling.
Yeah.
So you know the answer to that. There is a problem.
Yeah.
So I just move to the next part of the question of your.
I usually just listen. I start with that. That's the default, right? Like, I do a lot of grief work.
Yeah.
I used to do it as a
volunteer. And it caused me a lot of grief. Is that what you mean? No, that's not what you mean.
No. I used to do it as a volunteer. Now I'm working with an organization in Toronto for grief support. And the whole model is I'm not the expert in somebody else's life. My job to offer support is to just create a space for them to talk and be heard and just be. That alone is extremely supportive and extremely rare.
But you do that, that's your professional support life.
Yeah.
And in your private support life, same thing.
There's been situations where I've attempted at least to be supportive with you.
Yeah.
What works?
For me, I'm a very complicated guy.
I know that's a good example because if I can support you.
I'm not like the average
listener. You're just deeply complicated.
What works, in my case, I'm going to say mostly I'm a herd. I need to be heard.
Yeah, so newsflash, you're not that complicated. Well, you might be complicated, but what your request is not that complicated.
It's true.
It's the most common. It's support is just listen.
And I will say that often I probably know the answer already.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't want the helped part.
I would say you probably always know the answer.
Yeah.
And you don't need me to make you feel bad about the fact that you're not.
Yeah.
First of all, to pretend that I'm some expert to give you the answer that you already know.
Yeah.
And to make you feel bad about not walking through door A when you already see it yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So that's what works for me.
Yeah.
Let me flip it negatively a little bit.
Flip it.
fatigue, support. I'm going to call it support fatigue because I get that sometimes. Now I'm going to get, after people hear this, a bunch of people are going to ask me, what do you mean by that? But sometimes when you're listening to people and they're lamenting and have problems, or they have consecutive problems, like problem A ends and problem B begins, or they cross over from one to the other, there is a support fatigue after a while. It's like, I don't know what else to do for you if you, in fact, you want me to do anything. And that, I find that a little bit difficult to be in that position. But that person is still struggling.
Yeah.
And you want, like in my case, the good intention, I want to do something, but sometimes I throw my hands up. I'm like, I don't really know. I feel fatigued. Do you get that?
So in the circles that I'm in, they would call that compassion fatigue. Right?
See, I knew it had a fatigue.
And it's a real thing, right? Like it's common, I think, among anybody who's in a helping profession can find that they can have that compassion fatigue for a number of reasons, that they're just physically tired or just emotionally worn out. A very concrete example was for me. So before I started doing the grief support work, I volunteered on a helpline, and a lot of the people who called were calling all the time. Like no matter which shift I did,
like repeat callers.
They would, no matter which shift I did, at any time of day, I would hear certain voices calling, which means that they were just calling basically all day. And I just, I had compassion fatigue when it came to that, because I thought, I'm not really helping them, like what, am I enabling this? Like I just judged my own, what am I even doing here? Like what good is this doing by me being a compassionate listener, hearing the same things over and over again? So that's a real thing. The most important thing I would say is to notice it in you if it's happening.
But you still have to be there. You have to be present in some capacity.
Well,
you can't.
Do you? Are you talking about me like on the job or like in regular? So forget me on the volunteer job. In regular life, like with our kids
like
and stuff.
People you love, people you want to care about, people you need to care about.
Yeah.
You have to have some presence at all times. Even if you're done, you're tired, you're fatigued, whatever it is, you just don't know how to help this person anymore.
Yeah.
And it's starting to, like now you are struggling too.
Yeah.
And it becomes a circle.
So I think this is one of those cases where you know the answer. So I'm gonna see if we can get.
No. I asked you, so I'll come if you want to talk. If you want me to talk, I'll talk.
Only you can answer a question with a question. I didn't realize. Okay,
No.
so
I'm just forcing you. That's all.
Yeah, no, I'll be forced. That's fine. So what's the question? That sometimes you just have to do it. I still think that boundaries are important. I still think so, because it gets to the point that if you're just pushing yourself and faking it, you're going to be kind of useless.
Yeah. Well, do you tell people that? It's like, listen, I can't help you right now.
Yes, I do. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
With my ex-wife, she's going through a miserable time with a relationship in her life, and I probably am too much of an emotional buffer. And the reason I've chosen consciously to do that is because my younger daughter is there all the time with her. So I've kind of made the decision in my head that if she's unstable, my daughter's going to pay a price. So I'm probably overextending because it's not my job to listen and keep her stable.
Right.
But I've been doing it quite a bit. But even at that, sometimes I will just say, a lot of it happens by text, and I'll just kind of squeeze myself out slowly, like shorter answers and then longer before responding. Because if I was more intense about it, I would just start sounding impatient and judgy and say, you know what, deal with it, go get therapy. Even though I've suggested therapy and things like that, but she'll frequently shoot these things down, these ideas. So when she's in really negative mode, I can't be helpful anyway. So I just back out.
What if it's not an ex-wife though? Okay. So it's like an ex-wife, you can rationalize that I shouldn't be in this person's life so much and they shouldn't be in mine.
Yeah.
But let's say if it's your child, whose life you want to be part of and you want them to be part of you.
Yeah.
And you don't want to step back.
Yeah.
So forget the ex-wife because I feel that's a different case.
All right.
Child.
Yeah.
What do you do then?
I don't step back. My view with the kids
is faking it or not faking it, but like less.
I don't actually get
fatigued.
Well, I shouldn't say that either, because there's one issue with my younger daughter. She has an eating disorder, not her fault. It's not anorexia. It's something that's different. It's called ARFID. So it's a food. It stands for Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder, ARFID. I think I got that right. And she's lost weight because of it, because she just has a lot of anxiety and fear about food. The difference with anorexia, someone with anorexia is restricting food because they're concerned with body shape. ARFID has nothing to do with that. I have been sometimes very frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
So I have, this is when I'm trying to be at my best sometimes, and my frustration gets the better of me because on one hand, it's so simple. Just eat the food. Just eat the food. Like the food, just eat it. It's right here, but she's afraid to eat it because she thinks it's going to make her sick. And I'll say, how about this? I'll eat half of it and you can eat the other half. Then she goes, oh, how do I know that your half, you got lucky, you got the good half and I'm getting the bad half? And I just, at that point, I forget to, my better judgment knows that I'm not in negotiation with her. I'm in negotiation with anxiety. You know, I'm talking to her anxiety. The same anxiety that bullies her is now what I'm dealing with. And I have failed to be supportive. I just get frustrated.
Right.
But I still try again. Like I'm not setting a boundary in that case. The only boundary is if I recognize I've lost my shit, which I have, I apologize and I get back into it. But I've decided that I don't have the right to ever pull back from that. Like she needs me. She's my kid. Like if I'm not going to support her, what am I even doing here? Right? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But does she is she aware of that? I mean, she's aware of you losing it, but is she aware that, oh, this is the part where Dad is done with me for today?
Well, you know, she that's how I know I've screwed up, because I see that she's hurt and she says like, you know, you're ashamed of me, or, you know, you think it's so easy for me, and I see the tears in her eyes and it's like, I screwed up. I screwed up again with my kid. So I apologize, but I get back in. The difference is like anyone in life, if it wasn't my kid, if I saw that I'm just no good for them, I would just say, you know what, you really need professional help, or I'm no good for you. I don't know that there have been cases like that where I've like really removed myself from somebody's life like that who needs support. Not that I was ever, you know, a critical part of somebody's ongoing support. Not that I should be. But yeah, with my daughter, I do get that compassion fatigue. It flares up. I get frustrated. You know, it's like, it's so simple. Just eat the food. But I know it's not. If they could just eat the food, there would be no such thing as anorexia.
It's simple
or
for
ARFID.
you.
Yeah, like I'm using logic to talk about something that has nothing to do with logic.
Right.
It's a mental, it's an illness. I know that, right? It's like telling somebody depressed, oh, just go for, you know, snap out of it. It's like, it's like in hindsight, it's always the most ignorant thought. Like, what was I saying? But as a human, I get frustrated and I fail over and over, and that'll probably keep happening. How's that for bleak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not bleak at all, actually. You're a human and you fail and you'll keep, like, how's that bleak? That's the entire human experience.
Yeah, but
so
it's,
all 8 billion of us
it's
are...
just bleak because it's like, it's my kid. It's like, I don't lose my shit at work if somebody's grieving, even on the phone lines, right? Like I was frustrated, I was bored with people, I was annoyed, I was judging them. I never indulged in saying like, you know what, just go for a walk, do something.
Yeah.
But with my own kid, when the stakes are highest, what matters to me most, me who's, you know, Mr. Professional Support Person, to see that I'm failing at the most important support project opportunity in my life, like that's, it's some kind of cosmic irony that's just really stupid and frustrating. Like,
you know, you've said to me before, Greg.
What?
You have to give yourself grace.
Yeah.
Do you? Are you?
Well, okay. Yes, I do, but it's hard because, like I said, what excuse do I have for being so good to strangers, but when it's my own kid, that's sometimes where I'm at my worst.
I don't think that's an uncommon experience where we have more patience or are able to fake it better.
Yeah.
Especially, not to say that you're not...
And by the way, you're right. This is like when I say, when you say give yourself some grace, like I tell everybody who's beating themselves up, like in the work I do, they have shame, they have guilt, and I'll often say like, what about so this is yet another example where I can't take my own advice, but I will. That's why a reminder is helpful. I do, like I know I'm a good guy, but I just wish that I didn't have to. I could have skipped that moment of frustration, just taken a deep breath. You know, it's like instead of saying to her, you know what, this your eating is so fucking boring. There's no excuse to say that to a 16-year-old who's struggling. There's no excuse, and I could have just. I wish that I didn't.
But I was going to say that it's not uncommon that people are more patient with quote unquote strangers, like professional colleagues or people, you know, you don't have a vested interest in these people.
And it makes sense.
From
Because
8 to 4,
like you
you're-
said,
yeah.
you don't have a heart connection.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's not odd to me.
You're right. It makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. But just from a performance standpoint, it's like, why can't I just do the same behaviors of empathy and compassion with my daughter?
Because the frustration is real
That's right.
with colleagues and
Yeah.
even people who are needing your support at work.
Yeah.
It's not as real as your
Yeah,
own
the stakes
child.
are way higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incomparably higher. Yeah. Yeah.
So
How about you?
I'm fine.
Yeah. That's true.
I'm
That's
fine.
true. You're
No,
good. No,
I-
you're just
Not true, but I get the fatigue. This is not, I'm not trying to paint myself in any light, but I don't fake it, but there are times where I'm more present and less present. So I recognize that in myself, like I'm listening, I'm still listening, and I'm still will offer the helped, heard, or hugged. If people have listened to our podcast, they might have heard of that offering. But sometimes I'm also in my mind losing my patience and like, how do I?
Yeah, but you're there and you show up.
Yes,
Yeah.
because that's the least I can do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I don't, you know, I really have a feeling after people hear this, they're going to be like, "Oh, was that me? You weren't listening to me?" But no,
yes,
listen,
yes, it was.
No,
I know who he means, and it's you.
it's not you. It's not anybody. Some issues are more solvable. Some struggles are, you know, more important and are not as easily solvable, and some are not. So my presence sort of calibrates to that a little bit. Even my patience calibrates to that a little bit. Like I sort of internalize like how important is this struggle. I try to get that from the person, but I also decide on my own, which maybe isn't fair. But then I calibrate my sort of mindfulness of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What's one support skill that is a growth area for you that you wish you did better and you're cognizant of doing even better, if there is one?
Growth support area that I want to grow more. I know that.
Because while you're thinking, I'll tell you what mine is. It's what I just said. It's recognizing when I have to, when the fatigue is, I'm not at my best. And
I think that's the
honoring
same.
that.
I think that's the same. And it's like, it's a physical fatigue. Like if I'm actually physically fatigued, I'll lash out at my kids. My irritation level is much higher. And I think that's true on an emotional level. If it's too much and my emotions can't absorb that much support or struggle for me to provide support, I'll probably start getting sarcastic and lashing out, and I need to check that. Or, I just won't be as present, and then I have to stop and say, wait, it's not about you. I have to remind myself that all the time. It's not about you.
Yeah.
Who cares if you're tired? Someone's struggling. Who cares if you're feeling fine right now? They need you right now. So,
isn't it an and though, not an or? Like it, because it's not necessarily you're tired, they need you, push through. Can it be tired? You know, they need you, and you're tired, so you're not going to push through right now, but you're going to resume this.
I think sometimes you
time?
need to step up.
Yeah, regardless.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's objectively
you
true.
just-
Sometimes if the moment needs it, you got to do what you got to
So,
do. Of
yeah.
course. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's true in so many things in life. I'm sure
Yeah,
you've
of course.
experienced where you just can't.
You don't have the
but
luxury
you
of
have to.
pressing pause. Just
Yeah.
do it. Yeah. Yeah.
And you'll be better for it. Maybe, hopefully.
Yeah.
Boy, we're so goddamn smart.
As will the world.
incisive.
The world will be
It's like-
better. We're wisdom factories.
I know.
Such as spewing.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah,
we are spewing.
We're vomiting wisdom at the moment.
Well, thank you. I
And if
appreciate
you
that.
haven't vomited yet,
Yeah, then
you can like and subscribe.
and you can play it again. 'Cause
Yeah.
Rewind. You will.
Tell your friends,
Yeah.
all of that.
They can be nauseated too. Thank you. I appreciate the question.
All
It's a
right.
good
As
one.
always, you're welcome.
And we'll see y'all soon.
All right.
Bye
Take
for
care.
now.